All right, time now for one of our favorite features on Sports Night, and that is the discussion of all the money in all the world of sports. We have two businesswomen who will break it down for you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, you see the graphic, the Miss SportsBiz segment. I'm Sandra Golden alongside Christy Dosh. And yeah, we do a little water cooler talk here. The business of sports, the money behind sports, and some of the subjects that people are probably talking about. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving?
I did. How about you?
Awesome. Very, very good. And we're going to start with college football. I know you love that. On Friday night, most of you watched Boise State miss that kick in overtime. Poor Kyle Broxman is ready to kill himself. He missed it, but it cost Boise State much, much more than just the loss to Nevada. Financially, I'm hearing astronomical numbers. How much did this actually cost them?
The WAC commissioner came out and he has said that the conference as a whole is losing $8 million because Boise State is no longer going to be in a BCS bowl game. $3 million of that would have gone directly to Boise State, and that's a huge hit for them because their entire budget for the football program is about $6.3 million. So we're talking half their budget for an entire year they just lost on a field goal.
All right, big game this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, the SEC championship game, which leads us to ask the question, how does that SEC championship really stack up, Christy, against the ACC and the Big 12, for instance, in terms of, I know it brings in millions and millions of dollars to Atlanta.
So before I blow you away with the SEC numbers, because they're good, let me tell you a little bit more about the ACC and the Big 12. The ACC has had a tough time. The last 5 years...
You're being nice, to say the least.
They have split their time between Jacksonville and Tampa the last 5 years, and in those 5 years, no sellouts. They've been lucky if they've gotten 50 to 60,000 people in the stands. The average ticket price has been $94. I'm not exactly sure what face value is, but I don't think that's much over it. The Big 12 has done a little bit better. Their average ticket price is around $191 every year. They do sell out. However, the economic impact isn't all that great. The game between Texas and Oklahoma every year is actually bigger than the Big 12 game. It brings in about $20 million to the city. They're saying that they don't exactly get that from the Big 12. They don't really want to give a number. Yeah. The ACC game has had an economic impact in the past of around $15 million. Charlotte's hoping this year it's going to be $20 million for the ACC, and they've already sold 70,000 of the 73,000 tickets for that game. So I think maybe Charlotte's going to do a good job.
And this is the matchup the ACC wanted. Let's face it. These are the best two teams at Virginia Tech and Florida State.
Absolutely.
That is completely biased because you know why. And the SEC, drum roll please. This is going to be good.
This is my conference. So the SEC, totally different, in a whole league of their own. The average ticket price to the SEC game last year was $583.
Oh my goodness.
Huge. And part of the reason for that is that every year people who have tickets are able to renew them for the next year. They only see about 200 people every year not renew their tickets, which only gets about 100 people off the wait list. The wait list has over 20,000 people every year vying for a ticket to the SEC game.
So that average price is not face value, obviously.
No, secondary market.
Wow.
Huge demand, even from people that aren't fans of the two teams that are going to be there that year. You know, fans that live in Atlanta, general SEC fans. People have had these tickets for decades. They're not giving them up. And it brings in over $30 million to the city of Atlanta every year.
It's an event. It's already started early on this week already. It's going to be huge. All right, changing directions a little bit. We're going to head to baseball, talk a little Diamond stuff, because the winter meetings next week are in Orlando, Florida, which brings up contracts, salary arbitration, free agents. Can you do me a favor, just kind of dummy this down? Salary arbitration, who gets it, when, and why?
Okay, so we've got 3 different types of players who are eligible for arbitration. You've got the Super 2 players, who are players with more than 2 years of service but less than 3 years, and then they have to be in the top 17% of those players. They're eligible. You've also got players who have more than 3 years but less than 6 years. At 6 years, you can become a free agent. So in that window between 3 and 6, you're eligible for salary arbitration. But the important one, and the one that you hear a lot about during the winter meetings, are your free agents. Free agents can be offered arbitration. That's actually already happened. The deadline has already passed, and I believe free agents have until December 1st to accept or decline arbitration. If a team offers a player arbitration, then if that player signs with another team the former team is compensated with a draft pick.
Okay.
And where the draft pick falls depends on what type of player it was. You know, we won't get into the specifics on that.
Because my head will explode. Okay, thank you.
But what's really interesting is to look at who does and who doesn't get offered arbitration. Because if no offer for arbitration is made and then that player signs with another team, the current team gets squat.
All right, guys, SportsNite will return in about 2 minutes.